I'm going to take her down here and let her trot for a minute.
Catskill Animal Sanctuary is a haven for abused and abandoned horses and other farm animals. We have now horses, cows, steers. We just adopted out a couple of oxen. About 2 years ago, we started Catskill Animal Sanctuary on land that was being lent to us for a while. And we've been looking for a permanent home ever since. And a very wonderful anonymous donor has bought a farm for us.
New fence post directly across from me there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we're just ready to start putting the rails on.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay. Very, very, very good. This is amazing.
And tomorrow he's coming with 4 people. We're cutting every post off at 4 feet.
Okay.
We're going to take the split rail and make it a top railing.
Do we have enough to do that?
Yes, we do.
I noticed there's some more on the driveway on the way down just now.
Fully functional will be years, really. The barn, the foundation's strong, but the barn must have a new roof. The fencing around the entire farm is down, so we don't have the budget now to fence the entire place. So we're sort of fencing for our current population and 2 real emergencies that have to come in or they're just going to die. We'll work when we have the money. It's, you know, it's huge. A big chunk of money comes in and it immediately goes back out. We've just spent $14,000 on fencing materials in the last 2 days, for example. Just to get it functional for our current population, we must do very quickly before the winter comes because you can't fence in the winter. To have it up and running as an educational facility, which is what our ultimate goal is, where we run workshops and study vacations, will be a couple years.
We had a bit of a problem at first, since Gabriella's had the run of the entire place for such a long time. And when they were first introduced, they seemed to graze like this, and then Gabrielle, the horse on the right, was angry and pretty mean to Electra. And now they seem to be getting along a little better. It seems like when they get close, the healthy one notices that there's something wrong with the not so healthy one. And something, I don't know, maybe some sort of Darwinian thing takes effect, and they begin to realize that this is a weaker, not healthy creature, and they're not happy with him. They sometimes are very mean. We've seen this with a couple of horses. So we're hoping they get along, because it sure would be great, because we've also heard that pairing a blind horse with a sighted horse is really good.
I think the cows and goats will immediately be in heaven because they're curious, really curious, and they have a huge 35 or 40 acre space back here that they'll love to explore. The terrain is varied. It's much more interesting than where they are now, which is nice but just dead flat. They're shaded areas to explore and a pond, and so I think they'll have fun. The sheep will be a little more timid because that's their nature. And the horses will be, I think they'll like it because they'll have more space.
Whenever they come in, we have to quarantine them, and we get a vet to come in and take a look at them, and often they've been starved or malnutritioned, and so we have to put them on a prescribed diet and very gently, like those veal calves that were here. They were extremely dehydrated when we got them, so we had to give them water only at specific intervals because they would keel over if you gave them too much water or if they had as much water as they wanted. So we really listen to the vets.
We have everybody fill out an application, and what we try to do is match people's backgrounds and interests with our needs. There are, for instance, some people who are not comfortable with big animals, love animals, but just don't have the comfort level to want to work with them on a regular basis. So they answer phones, they write thank you notes, they clean, Other people, most people in fact, really want that hands-on contact. So for those people, if they're not experienced particularly with the bigger animals, there's a training.
Basically what has brought us here has been our love of animals and our distress at seeing those that are abused, abandoned, and just neglected. There's two goats that I'm quite fond of, Ernie and April. They're a duo. They're quite lovely. We also have been very fond of 2 oxen, miniature oxen that we had, and a whole bunch of sheep and goats that have already been adopted out. It's a very, very hard thing to see them being adopted out because you've already built up this rapport with them, and they're gone, you know. But we can always go visit them, which is a nice thing.
Sometimes it's not intentional cruelty. We're finding that sometimes people's life circumstances changed. We're taking 2 ponies next week who are in terrible shape from a woman whose husband died, and she simply doesn't have the means to care for them. And to her credit, she called while the animals are still able to be saved. In terms of pickup and drop-off, we actually go to the site. We have volunteer haulers, and some very nice man the other day drove up with a beautiful trailer that he donated to us. We've been as far as 3 and 4 hours away. Usually it's within the county, within Ulster County.
Every time an animal comes in here, I walk up to the animal and say very clearly to it, you'll never have to worry again.